Hello guys, I'm getting ready to film a YouTube video here in the Central Park of North Royalton. That's where this video is going to be. And now let's head on our way to the video destination. So close to where this YouTube video is going to be filmed. I'm going to end it for now, and then next you'll see me right there film the video. Hello you guys, as you can see we're in the heart of North Royalton. We're right under where the concerts are playing here, and this is where home days is taking place, the carnival every year in August. But see, look at, we're right in the middle of North Royalton. There's a school, there's a stadium, Right over there, there's CVS. You got a Shake Shop over there. Shout out to Aaron Maloney and Grace Davernick who work there. Shout out to them. And over there, if you continue a couple more miles, there's a goofy looking mall. But and then the fire department and just all wonderful places. So give a visit. But this is gonna be a video on Cedar Point today, and that's the initiative of this. Now, I have a note sheet to talk about certain events and stuff at Cedar Point. Just make sure the camera angle is good. Yep. Alright, so let's start talking about Cedar Point stuff. Alright. This is probably going to be a 25-minute video because we got a lot of things to talk about here. I got a sheet came prepared. Say. Now Cedar Point, what do I think of it? I never really told anybody my actual thoughts on Cedar Point, but something that you do notice about Cedar Point is they're very pricey with a lot of their things. A lot of their things are very expensive. So some of it's okay, and some of it's kind of a ripoff. But that's the business initiative of running a business. You gotta increase your prices. You don't decrease your prices. You gotta increase them to get more revenue for your business to ultimately get more money. And that's what they want to do, and they want to build roller coasters every 3 years. So that's all right for them. Now food places. Now here's my thought on the food places. I like the food places choices. I'm a little disappointed at Chick-fil-A leaving Cedar Point. Being such a lover of Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's been my whole life, but it wasn't their decision. It was Chick-fil-A's, so I'm not gonna blame them on it. Like, I think if Chick-fil-A wants to get the fair amount of payroll, then Chick-fil-A should build a restaurant outside of Cedar Point, as we see with McDonald's. McDonald's is super successful. When people leave the park, they go to McDonald's. McDonald's is very successful being outside the park. They have two of them. So Chick-fil-A should do the same thing, in my opinion. Now let's talk about little kid areas, like Peanut Park and the new renovation to the Gemini Midway. I actually think it's a waste of money to build new little kid attractions because, well, it's not really. It's because a kid is only a kid for a certain amount of time before they get to ride the big stuff. So when you're a kid, you ride the little things, but you don't ride the little things forever. It's like, that's how I feel about the situation. That's how I feel on the situation with that. I feel like kids are only kids for a certain amount of time before they move on to the big rides. So I think it's a waste of money to put a whole bunch of new little kid things. But the Gemini Midway did need a renovation. So the renovation had in 2014 was successful, and it really reinvented that area. But I don't know, the Pipe Scream and the Lake Erie Eagles, those are cool, but I feel like you don't really have to do new. I feel like they could have just did away with the Frog Hopper and stuff still being there, but with the new renovation, like, I feel like with little kids, when they grow, and they ride the big things, so it's not like they're gonna be bored riding the same thing forever. It's only for like 6 years. If you start going when you're like, kids start going when they're 3 or 4, and when they're 4 or 5, they start riding rides. So like 4 or 5 to like age of 9, and once they get 9, then you're probably tall enough to ride some of the bigger rides like Blue Streak, Mine Ride, Mean Streak. Now let me talk a little bit about Valraven and how it's going to affect the landscape of the park. Now, if you put Valraven in the park, here's one thing that's going to happen. Now, you notice when the park opens, everybody runs the Raptor because it's the big attraction at the front. That's convenient to run to. Now with Valraven being there, people are gonna run the Valraven instead, and Raptor will be a little bit less crowded earlier in the day. Gatekeeper to the middle of nowhere, I could see it not. I could see it getting 5-minute waits all year. It's an ideal situation with Gatekeeper. Now Millennium Forest, I could see it increasing just a little bit because of its location near Valraven. Dragster probably stay the same, and Maverick may decrease a little bit because it's in the back of the park, which is practically in the middle of nowhere at this point, for this year at least. So I can see Maverick decreasing 10-15 minutes, as well as Gatekeeper, through this change. Now Raptor, what are my thoughts on Raptor? Raptor is a really good ride. I'm really interested how the new paint job is going to be this next season, but I think Raptor is definitely a keeper, and it definitely gives people in the park something exciting to do at the front as well as at the back of the park. Mean Streak. Now there's been many rumors that Mean Streak is going to be taken down. I honestly wouldn't. I'm in with Mean Streak getting taken down. I think it would open up a lot of room. What I think they should do is, as well as getting rid of Mean Streak, with Shoot the Rapids going, both of those going, possibly they could do a super coaster that could go from Shoot the Rapids area to Gemini's area, and it would be insane. It would be a huge ride. I think many people would love that aspect of like a 3,000 foot coaster like Millennium Forest, where it go through Mean Streak's area and Shoot the Rapids. That'd be epic. The whole indoor coaster thing, honestly, I think the indoor coasters could be going to the Shoot the Rapids area, but I don't know what Cedar Point has up their sleeve for that. All I know is Matt Allmulet did confirm a new indoor coaster in the next couple of years, so look forward to that. Max Air and Skyhawk, you know, I like both of those. I like Max Air and Skyhawk, and they're great rides, Max Air and Skyhawk, but I think they should add another. They have Max Air, Skyhawk, and Power Tower, but here's what I think they should do. I think they should get rid of Dinosaurs Alive on the island, and get rid of Dinosaurs Alive on the Causeway. At least that's what it seems to be. Get rid of Dinosaurs Alive. It doesn't get many business. You know, it's never convenient to get rid of things that make money, but in that situation, it's not getting any business. What they should have done with it is they should have brought it to Kings Island for maybe 3 years and see how it did after 3 years, see if it's successful. I don't think it's successful, so I think Dinosaurs Alive should go. Probably replace it with a boat ride on the outside of it, and in the inside on the island, they should maybe put another thrill ride like Max Air or Skyhawk. That would definitely be interesting to see a thrill ride on taking that island. Now Luminosity, the show Luminosity. Here's what I think they should do. That in 2012, Carly Rae Jepsen, she came to Cedar Point to sing. I believe it was in July, the month of July. So I think at Cedar Point, every summer month, June, July, and August, they should get a famous singer to come out and sing a couple songs on that day in the park on the Luminosity stage. I think that would up the scale for that respective show and make it interesting. And honestly, I could see Cedar Point probably making money another way at Luminosity, maybe adding preferred seats at Luminosity and making money from seats. You know, people paying money for seats. I could see that happening in the future. You know, if I was Cedar Point, I'd be finding ways to make money too. You know, you want to build roller coasters, so I'd be doing the same thing. Now with Millennium Force is the greatest coaster in the world. The best coaster in the world. It's like the LeBron James of the NBA. Top of the notch coaster. It's not my personal favorite, but I cannot argue with it. It is the best coaster in the world. Here's the difference from Millennium Force and Valraven. No, Millennium Force and Fury 325. Fury 325, there's a view of a forest. Millennium Forest, there is a view of a lake, a beautiful lake as you go down the hill. Like, that is just so breathtaking. It's so heartwarming to horse in the front row. That's what I do. But Millennium is a keeper. Millennium is going to be the new Blue Streak in 60 years. Millennium is going to be like Blue Streak. They'll never get rid of. Now with Gatekeeper, Gatekeeper, it's a good ride. I don't really think it's been as successful as Cedar Point thought it would be. It had like 3-hour lines the first year it opened, but I really think the attention on Gatekeepers kind of faded as the years grow. So maybe it would have been better to start Gatekeeper where the Pirate Ride is located and kept Disaster Transport. I don't know, but Gatekeeper hasn't really gotten the attention that much after all these changes with Rougarou and Valraven throughout the last couple of years. Magnum XL 200. Now it'll be interesting to ride Magnum this year because it will be different because there will be no Challenge Park things going on Challenge Park, which in the Challenge Park areas that they got rid of, I think they should put. Now the one ride that Cedar Point got rid of that I miss personally, I miss Wildcat. Like I know it had issues, so they had to get rid of it. But I think it'd be cool if they did some sort of Wild Mouse coaster that'd be small, but it'd fit like in that little area over there instead of a Soak City edition. Because their Soak City's already big enough. I think they have enough slides, enough things to do. They don't really need to put anything new there. I think what they need to do is add another Wild Mouse coaster, and maybe not name it Wildcat this time. Maybe name it like Bobcat or something like Bobcat. That'd be pretty cool. Now the next ride to go in the park, I have a feeling Mean Streak is the next ride to go. Sadly, Mean Streak Henry, I feel like your ride is going to be going here in 2 years. I think it's going to be open this year, and I think next year is going to be its last year, honestly. They'll try to keep it as long as they can. They love and respect their old Mean Streak. It's a lot of wood it took to build. It's going to take a lot of money to take down, so it's not convenient. But it really hasn't got the business that Cedar Point has been hoping. Because when you buy tickets to go to Cedar Point, you buy tickets for Millennium, Maverick, and Top Thrill Dragster. You don't buy tickets to see Mean Streak. So it's really lost its flair in the past 2 decades, past decade at least. I've been going to Cedar Point for a decade and a couple years more than a decade. So I don't know how the decade before that was with Mean Streak, but it surely has lost its flair. Now for Cedar Point events for club members, I am personally in a coaster club. I'm in the Coaster Club, Ohio Coaster Club, and we got events throughout the year. And I really do think that Cedar Point should have more events throughout the season for all Coaster Club members, because I only remember going to like 2 or 3 events. There's Coaster Camp Out, then there's Coaster Mania, and then a Halloween event, but that was only, you had to pay for that, so it wasn't really that convenient. But like, you know, like I feel like they should add more events, and I feel like they should like do like Cedar Point at night hours, where if you have a platinum pass, on some nights you could stay at the park an hour later, and while all the rides are running, not just one ride night, all the rides are running. Do something like Disney World, like with hotels. If you're a hotel stayer, you get magic hours. Do like Ride Warrior hours or something. I don't know. And really, the last thing I want to talk about with Cedar, well, there's 3 more things. First of all, with with Top Thrill Dragster, I want to talk about Top Thrill Dragster for a little bit. Cedar Point, you really need to work on getting Top Thrill Dragster running a lot more throughout this year, because Top Thrill Dragster was the one ride that was down a lot last year, and you know, when it's down for 1 week, that's fine, but when it's down for a month and it's unprecedented to what the issue is, that it was down a month during Halloween weekends, I believe. I went there every Friday, Saturday, and it was down. So top build, really work on getting top build register working. I know it's hard to get running, so I respect all you workers who work for it in the slightest way possible. I respect all of you workers, and I respect you guys so much. Now, my personal favorite ride in the park, Maverick. I'm gonna miss Chick-fil-A not being next door. That's what I always used to do for storm shelter, or to get food right next to Maverick. But Maverick will always be my favorite ride in Cedar Point history. Downright, I love Maverick. It's a special place in my heart. It holds a special place, and Maverick, I think, is the best ride in Cedar Point currently. Millennium is amazing. I agree, it's the best coaster. It's kind of like The Bachelor. I love both, but I can only love one more. And if there's a Bachelor series of all the roller coasters, Maverick and Millennium would probably be the final two. And I'd probably give my rose to Maverick and get married to Maverick. But it's really tough. Millennium is my favorite ride on the front row. But Maverick is my favorite ride overall, so I love both to death. So it's literally 50-50 with it. And the last thing I want to talk about is Halloweekends right here. Now here's one thing about Halloweekends. I feel like Cedar Point has lost its greatness at Halloweekends. Halloweekends used to be amazing. It had its peak, but then it's gotten really bad in the last couple of years. They've gotten rid of some of the best haunted houses that it ever has. Like if you look at 2009 map here, in the 2009 map they had Club Blood. Now Club Blood compared to Zombie High School, I think it was a fair trade there. Both are great haunted houses, but Club Blood will be missed. I know this will never happen again, but Happy Jack's Toy Factory, that will be forever the best indoor haunted house at Halloweekends. Toy Factory was amazing with the Peony Babies and all the cool stuff at Toy Factory, so that will be forever missed. Toy Factory, I know it will never happen again since they've used way too many of the props at other respective locations. They use the truck outside for Toy Factory that's located at Slaughterhouse now, so that's not going to happen. Erie Estate is still there. Erie Estate is a good haunted house. It trademarks the old times of Cedar Point, so they should definitely keep Erie Estate. I'll never see them getting rid of that. Now here is the #1 most upsetted haunted house that got removed. It's still there, but it's a different name now. As on this headband, I got Terror Island. It is my #1 most favorite haunted house that's ever been in all time. No joke. Terror Island 100% deserves to come back. It deserves Dinosaurs Alive. It's not getting much business. It can go. Terror Island can go back on that island. And what they could do with the Cutthroat Cove area is they could put in Tombstone Territory, which is only a 20-second walkthrough. They could put it through the Cutthroat Cove area and keep that area still with the haunt. Keep the Maverick area still with the haunt. But Terror Island, best haunted house of all time. I cry about it till today. I want that haunted house back. It meant so much to me. It meant so much to a lot of the people I know, and I miss it to death. So Cedar Point, if you're watching this video, please bring back Terror Island. I miss it to death, man. As well as another haunt that I miss that they don't have currently is Carnival. They got rid of that one, but its last season was 2014. Fairy Tales is really bad, so I think they should bring back Carnival and bring back Terror Island and Carnival right next to each other. Both are amazing haunts. Both deserve to come back. Terror Island and Carnival. Cedar Point is good in the indoor haunted house for Halloweekends. The outdoor haunted houses, though, need work. And there's a lot of bad outdoor haunted houses. I'm not going to throw any haunts under the bus. Listen, I love all the Screamsters to death. The Screamsters make Cedar Point Halloweekends awesome, but when the haunts you love, when you love to yourself are not there, it's sad. And I'd like to see Terror Island and Carnival because in my mind, if in the before and after, that's one of the worst before and afters I see in the park. It used to be Terror Island and Carnival. Now it's Dinosaurs Alive and Fairy Tales. Like, I wish that area was just big again and had Terror Island and Carnival. So I miss those two really much. Cornstalkers always has the longest lines at Cedar Point, so I think Cornstalker should stay depending on the line waits for it. Fear Fair. Fear Fair is a haunted house at Cedar Point, a walkthrough that I really miss as well. On top of Carnival and Terror Island, I feel like Cedar Point's gotten rid of a lot of the better haunted stuff there. And Fear Fair, you know, I feel like Cedar Point should put a walkthrough at the front of the park, like how they did they did when Fear Fair was there. So I think it's important. I think it's needed. So I think not a Fear Fair comeback, but maybe like a medieval walkthrough at the front. Like, I like Fear Fair, and I like how it went through the outside a little bit. It kind of gave you that feeling that you were at like a medieval market. Fright Zone. It's now currently Screamworks. I think it's doing a good job. They'll never get rid of the haunt that's in that place, because that haunt's been there since the very beginning. Now I have a 2011 Cedar Point Halloween Weekends map. I have an 09, 011, 013, and 015. So I'm going to be reviewing Cedar Point's changes throughout the time. Blood on the Bayou was new this year. Blood on the Bayou hasn't really been doing good. It's inconsistent. Like, sometimes it'll be good, sometimes it won't. I feel like the announcer that left Blood on the Bayou to go, the announcers that left Blood on the Bayou, there's two of them that were good. I feel like it's kind of missing its flair. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like a kid in an adult in a playground. It feels missing. Like, you know, it feels like it's got. I can see Blood on the Bayou. It's got a couple more years in it, but as for now, I think it needs a little revamping, a little bit new, different theming for that. Screamer is still there. Carnival, Cold Blood, Eternity Infirmary. I've heard rumors that Infirmary is the next haunted house to leave Cedar Point. I really don't want this to happen. I love the hospital. I love Eternity Infirmary. I love it to death. Honestly, I think the Wax Museum should be the next haunted house to go. I don't think they should replace it with some sort of alien-themed haunted house. I think that'd be cool, like Area 51. Maybe it's something like that. Then put it like an alien indoor haunt. But I don't only have ideas for Cedar Point to bring back these haunted attractions, which I think is a great idea, bringing back old ones. But I also have ideas on new ones that they could put up, like an alien indoor theme. I think that'd be interesting. Fear Fair Area State, the Toy Factory Terror Island is still there. In 2013. Now this is when Cedar Point started to decline in Halloween Weekends, I believe. Zombie High School was new. That's good. Zombie High School is good. I kind of think of it the same as Cold Blood, though. They're kind of even, so it's like not getting rid of anything. Wax Museum. I don't like Wax Museum personally. I don't like the theming of it. But I admit it is scary sometimes because there's not that many people that were there last season. So Cutthroat Cove. Cutthroat Cove is a wonderfully themed attraction. I am very big friends of all the pirates at the respective locations. So I love Cutthroat Cove. It's my favorite haunt there, but I just love Terror Island like 3 times more. Out of my top 5 favorite haunts wherever at Cedar Point, number 1 is Terror Island, number 2 is Carnival, number 3 is Toy Factory, number 4 is Fear Fair, and number 5 is Cutthroat Cove. So 4 of the 5 are gone. So you can see why I'm a little ticked off from the analytics. Now, Screamworks and Blood on the Bayou are still there. Carnival, yeah, there's nothing new in 2013 other than that. In 2015, now this is the newest addition. They had Hext. You know, Hext is good. I could see it staying there a couple more years because they really trademarked the witch in the call it the haunt show that they have. But I feel I could see Hex going like 3 more years. Another thing they had, it's only 20 seconds. I think they should do what I said. Move it to the Cutthroat Cove area, bring back Terror Island, and you got a good move there for Halloweenkins. Now I know it's nowhere near Halloweenkins, but I'm talking a lot about it because I don't have issues with Cedar Point. I have issues with their Halloweenkins event. I think Cedar Point is doing everything brilliantly in the park, and I don't think there's much to talk about with that. I think, except with the Chick-fil-A move, but that wasn't their intended idea. But I feel like there's a lot of stuff to talk about with Halloweenkins. I feel like it's losing its greatness. Halloweenkins. Another thing in Halloweenkins they used to have was the Overlord show. Now Cedar Point got rid of that because the Overlord, it's not really like a positive thing to talk about overlords and demons and stuff. Like it's not positive stuff. They didn't want that image there, so maybe they could do something like the Overlord show. That they're doing something like it, but I miss when all the Screamsters used to go up on the Luminosity stage and get to start the day up there, or back in the old days when they didn't have Luminosity and they used to walk all together and bow down. Maybe not call it an Overlord, but maybe call it the Screamster King. Like once they get rid of Hexed, which haunts come and go, haunts can come back. I think that's what Cedar Point should really test this Halloweenkins. They should bring back haunt, like Carnival or Terror Island. Both would be wonderful, or Fear. All three would be wonderful comebacks. So I think they should really test that idea, see how it works out, maybe for a season. And back to the Overlord thing. Maybe they should call it like the Scream King, like the Screamster King, or the King of Screamsters. Like the Overlord sounds dark, but the King of Screamsters kind of sounds like, all right, and give the guy a crown, get like for the King of Screamsters, do the same speech as the Overlord, make it, because I don't feel like the Witch show is powerful enough. I don't feel like it's like blockbuster enough as the Overlord show was. Now, in the 2015 Halloweenkins, of course, they got rid of Carnival, which is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see your favorite haunts go away. You know, some of the I kind of miss seeing the clowns all around in Snoopyland. And that may be something they look into bringing back next year. I think Carnival would fit wonderfully as a comeback this year, and then next year bring back Terror Island and move in, because Cedar Point is losing its flair in Halloweenkins. In 2008, they brought in Club Blood, Terror Island, and Cornstalker, which is the best year that Cedar Point has ever had of new haunts. So I think you really gotta make it great again. Halloweenkins. Slaughterhouse, that's the only one I really haven't talked about. Slaughterhouse, it's a great indoor haunt. I love the new animations on all the new stuff in it. Now, I watched the Slaughterhouse YouTube video, a point of view of the Slaughterhouse in Knott's Berry Farm, and I really like that, and I like the Slaughterhouse here. But like, the only problem with it is once you get through it 1 year, it's gonna get old. Like haunts that get old after 1 year aren't really successful in my mind. But Slaughterhouse, they did a lot of work, a lot of effort to the props, the prop making. I give credits to Cedar Point. I give credits to Jason McClure. Jason McClure, in my mind, he's done everything perfectly. It wasn't his mindset to get rid of Chick-fil-A, so I'm not gonna put that on him. The only thing that I think they got wrong was getting rid of Carnival and putting in Fairy Tales. But they didn't know. I mean, they didn't expect to happen what happened, but Fairy Tales really is not a quality haunt, and that deserves to get rid of. But that is the end of the Halloweenkins talk. Now back to Cedar Point talk. when I was Cedar Point. I've been going from 2003 to 2016, and I gotta say Cedar Point, my favorite seasons going to Cedar Point would have to be seasons 2008 to 2011. That was, in my opinion, the peak of Cedar Point, 2008 to 2011. Cedar Point, they need to get the best amusement park to work back, and Valraven could do that. Valraven could push them over the limit. Will Valraven be awesome? Will Cedar Point be the #1 amusement park in the world again? And will it take down Europe Park? We will see in 2016 at the end of the year in the roller coaster amusement park standings. I will see all of you guys later. Thank you if you have watched the full video, and thank you very much for watching. I love each and every one of you viewers. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, a like. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe, but if you're interested in seeing more content, then subscribe, because it's convenient for you, because you get notifications when I put a video. I put out videos every 2 to 3 weeks, one video. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Thank you for listening to my Cedar Point talk.